What's going on, gang? What is going on? It's your boy Phantm Phuego. Taking a deep breath. It's Sunday, man. Let's have a 1 minute meditation, man. Let's just breathe for a second. Come on, guys. I know this may seem weird, but let's just take a deep breath. Let's just acknowledge our breath for a moment. Sitting straight up. Breathing deeply. That was wonderful, guys. This is your boy Phantm Phuego. Thank you for doing that with me, man. Phantm Phuego. I felt like we just needed a minute, man, just to recognize our breath, recognize our breathing. Just be in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we do so much. We're doing so many things at the same time that we don't just recognize our breathing. Excuse me. Recognize our breathing. Just be in the moment. Sometimes we're just so busy. Sometimes we're just so preoccupied. Sometimes we're just busy doing nothing but watching TV shows and just letting our days pass us by. You know, shout to the hustlers out here getting to it. And shouts to the couch potatoes, because, you know, somebody got to watch all this content. Somebody got to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have the spirit to grind out. Though I highly encourage it. I highly encourage entrepreneurship. I understand that's not everybody, you know, chosen path in life. But I would hope, you know, 9 out of 10 of my listeners would at least try their hand at entrepreneurship. Try your hand at doing something. Try your hand at getting busy, because especially in these times we living in now, y'all, if you ain't getting busy, if you ain't getting to it, if you ain't grinding up, if you ain't trying to put something together, you can get caught slipping. You can get caught lacking. You can get caught not paying attention. You can get caught not seeing the writing on the wall. You can get caught and left out in the cold, left high and dry, without a pot to piss in, without a window to throw it out. You can get caught without something to eat. You can get caught without some clothes to put on. You can get caught without a job. You can get caught without finances. You could get caught without a place to stay. You could get caught without a support system. You could get caught lacking in so many areas. You could get caught lacking in this life. You could get caught without, you know, and a lot of times it comes after a time of abundance. There was a time where we had so much, and instead of putting some away for when things get short, for when things get low, for when things get rough, for when things get hard, for when things get scarce, for when things get slim, for when times get less productive, for when finances aren't coming in as regularly. Instead of putting something away for those times, you know, quite often when things are beautiful, when things are flowing, when things are going well, when it's raining, and we're growing and producing at an abundant rate with our labor and our fruit, is just so abundant. Our personal labor, or the labor of others passed on to us, is just so abundant, so much, so fruitful, such in a great supply that we can sometimes feel like that'll last forever. We can sometimes get this false impression that we'll never have a short day, we'll never have a low day, we'll never have a rough day, we'll never have a hard day, we'll never have a day without, we'll never have a day where we make zero, we'll never have a day where we don't have our team around us, we'll never have a day where we don't have enough to make ends meet, we will never have a day where we caught without our defenses up in any aspect, in any avenue, in any area. And I want to say that is not true at all. There's always going to come a day, there's always going to be a time where things will slow up, where things will get hard, where things will get rougher, where you won't have as many people around you, where you won't have as many resources available to you, where you won't have as much coming in, and you won't have as big of a supply chain, as your logistics won't be as tight to get that situated. You know what I'm saying? Your routes, your supply routes might get slowed up. It happens. It really does happen. And those days when your supply routes are slowed up, you might not feel it today. You might not feel it for 6 or 7 months. But when a supply route get bogged down, when a supply route gets slowed up, when a business is not bringing in as much money, when a collective is not seeing the bread they normally used to seeing, when investments aren't making the same returns that you're normally used to making on those investments, whether that be rental properties or stocks and bonds, whether that be any type of asset that you have that's growing in interest and growing in value. There may be times when that slows up. If you're in a service providing business, there may be times when, the particular field you're in is not in as high a demand. There may be times when you need to personally upgrade your product offering, and at those times you have to make more investments than you are actually getting out of the company. And if you do that at the wrong time, you can really catch yourself slipping. It's best to do those at times of abundance. But if you didn't continue to invest in yourself during times of abundance, investing in skills and invest in your technology, invest in the skills and technology of your labor force. If you didn't continue to invest in those things, your business will get caught slipping. You'll get caught slipping, and all of the clientele that you relied on, all of your loyal fan base, all of your loyal, the people who have given you a chunk of their wallet share, can easily turn around and give that chunk of wallet share to somebody else who is keeping up technology-wise, who is keeping their skills up, who is keeping themselves sharp, who is upgrading their technology, upgrading their team's technology, upgrading their staff's technology, staying abreast of things in their field, constantly, perusing the trade publications, going to the conventions, what have you, and they can completely take your business over. Those things happen. Those times happen. Stuff outside of your control can happen. The world is going through that right now, where things outside of people's control completely can slow up their supply chains, completely change their businesses. So many businesses being shut down right now that may never return. So many people retiring early right now. So many people trying to figure out their next move. Do they get out the country? Do they leave? Do they move? Where do they go? So, what do you say to people in those times? Got to figure out a way to while you enjoying life and living in abundance. Live abundantly, king. Live abundantly. Live abundantly, queen. Live abundantly. Buy that $500 pair of sunglasses. Buy them $2,000 pair of shoes. Buy that bag. Buy that watch. Buy that necklace. Buy that chain. Absolutely. If that's what you want to do, listen. Who am I to stop you? You feel you gotta live this life the way you feel is best. And if you feel that is what you want to do, that makes you feel more kingly, more queenly, like you are establishing some type of value in yourself or in other people when you wear $500 sneakers, $2,000 shoes, when you driving the biggest, baddest Benz, or you pushing a Murcielago, you pushing a Porsche down the street, if that, and don't get me wrong, because I'm actually looking at some Porsche Cayennes now myself, so I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting luxury vehicles. I love luxury vehicles. I'm looking at a Porsche Cayenne myself right now. I swear to you, I'm looking at a Porsche Cayenne right now. But I don't know if that defines me. I don't know if I wouldn't be as happy with an Acura MDX. And that's a conversation that I have with people very close to me right now. Do I need a Porsche Cayenne? Would I not be happy with an Acura MDX? 2019, 2020 MDX, completely, tricked out from the rooter to the tutor. You know what I mean? Do I need the luxury vehicle to feel I've achieved some type of status? Do I need a Lexus truck? Do I need a Benz truck? Do I need those things to feel like I am somebody? I don't think so. I could be fooling myself though. We all try to fool ourselves sometimes and act like, we're not victim or subject to being desirous of the things of this world. We all like to have nice things. We all like to look nice, feel nice, smell nice, dress nice, appear nice, walk nice, talk nice. Well, not all. I shouldn't say all. Some people really don't care about this stuff at all. And then, you have other people who feel that stuff is just completely worthless. They're having a different type of experience on this planet. And that's cool. And you have some mentally, some people who would be classified, because who am I to make these classifications? Who's anybody to classify these classifications? Some people who would be classified as not all the way there, and of course they, can't always be held accountable for their actions. So if they don't understand the importance of looking or dressing a particular way, we usually completely understand that. But we talk about, people what we would consider are sensible, and sometimes you gotta question what we question what we feel is sensible, because some of the people we say is sensible is a little screwy in the head. You know what I'm saying? But I digress from my point. All I'm trying to say is, I don't think I'm a obsessor over materialism. I enjoy nice things. I like dressing nice, looking nice, nice fashion. You know what I mean? I like to travel comfortably. I like to look comfortable and, feel refreshed and clean when I travel. I like to feel comfortable. I like to look presentable. I like to dress the part. Whatever that part may be for a particular setting I'm heading to. So I'm a fashionable guy, I would like to say, but I have my days when I'm just regular, just kicking it with the team. I used to be like, everywhere I had to go every day, no matter what, I had to be, look, but now it's more at the shows, at the events, when I'm heading someplace of prestige, I could be a little more. I'm a little more relaxed now about, those things. I feel more confident in myself. That came with time. Putting out records that people really like. Shouts to everybody that's loving Roll It, by the way. Roll It is everywhere. Roll It is everywhere. I know it's been a mad long. I still ain't put out an official full formal video for it yet, which is an atrocity, and I need to get that to the streets like ASAP. I'm gonna get that to the streets like ASAP. I need a video for that. Like yesterday. That's a whole fact. That's the next thing I'm working on. Just doing everything with a bit more je ne sais quoi, really ramping up as the rest of the year unfolds. Trying to do things the best I can. It's not easy, but nothing we want in life that's worth having is easy. And I just want I want people to take a moment to understand that nothing we really want in this life is easy. And, I say that for myself as well, We all got to understand anything we want that is worth having, that's worthwhile, whether that be a family, a particular position with a particular company, if you're starting your own company, you want it to be amazingly successful. If you're writing a book, if you putting out your own film, whatever you're doing, whatever you're endeavoring in, if it's something that a lot of people want to do, if it's something that a lot of people desire, if it's something that's really worth having, something that has some tangible value to it, it's not going to be easy to do. But in that it not being easy to do, A, you're going to appreciate the grind and the struggle to get it done, and B, you're gonna just love yourself more for making that happen. You're gonna be so much more appreciative of yourself. You're gonna be so much more confident. You're gonna be so much more self-assured. Your self-esteem gets boosted when you can make the sensible decisions and make what some would consider sacrifices, but some wouldn't consider it sacrifices at all. Some would consider it just, being wise and, holding some away for a rainy day and being mindful that, things are never always going to stay the same. Things ebb and flow. Times change. Some days it's rainy. Some days the sun is shining. Some days there's going to be a lot of fish in the lake to take up, and some days the lake is not going to have as much fish. What did you do with the fish when those days were abundant? Did you preserve some? Did you sell some so you could get other things that you and your families could use? Did you just party it off? Did you save anything at all? Did you make plans? Did you learn new skills? Did you switch up the way you do business? Did you adjust and evolve to the times? Did you adjust and evolve to the times? Are we adjusting and evolving to the times? Are we doing the right things out here? Are we making the right moves? Are we basing stuff on the right decisions? I don't know sometimes, Hopefully everybody is, taking the moment to realize things ain't always going to be always up. You look at how these NBA players, a lot of them during the strike, were very nervous because a lot of them pay for so many different people to live. And I'm sorry, I said strike. during the lockout, during this corona situation where nobody could play, a lot of players, unfortunately live check to check, even being so high up the hall, some would consider them even having such high paying jobs and amazing salaries. They can, very easily be in a situation where they don't have anything but an amazing name that they can't use to make any money. And if they didn't do the right things with their money when they had an opportunity to, then things can get bad. Now, of course, you gotta excuse the rookies. Rookies, they might not even be making much of anything yet. And, might make a few bad financial decisions when you first get your hands on that type of money. So I understand that. But far too many people in so many different professional fields who make tons and tons of money per paycheck, or what most would consider to make, very nice salaries, don't have much financial sense, and very often are living check to check, even off huge checks, and not really saving, or unfortunately sometimes they'll make bad investments, and we've seen that all the time, where players get robbed. Players have people that come around them saying, "Oh, I got this idea. I just need $10 million, $5 million, $150,000. The players give. Very rarely do these investments, come into fruition. Even sometimes they'll have, quote unquote reputable people. Cases of Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett's, Jerry Stackhouse's, Grant Hills of the world, who've had quote unquote reputable people on their team, people that came through the right channels and went to the right schools, robbing them blind, taking millions of dollars from them, and then they got to turn around and sue these people to get money back. It happens all the time. I believe it also happened to Charles Barkley, David Robinson. I mean, the list goes on and on of players who have been approached with ideas for products, labels, production companies, clothing lines, etc., that people swear are gonna hit, and that never do. And businesses go through that all the time, so that happens. But I think sometimes the people who are taking the finances from the players aren't really even planning on doing those businesses, because yes, while some businesses fail, this is true, many businesses succeed if worked on tirelessly day and night with real effort, enthusiasm, ambition, hustle, ingenuity, really pouring energy, blood, sweat, and tears into something until it starts to grow out. I'm not sure how often those businesses were actually intended to grow out. And, to be frank, how many times people would just come in to rob players and celebrities and people in high society. Even biz talks of people on Wall Street who's supposed to be financial analysts, just living check to check. And, if you've ever seen the film Boiler Room, these guys are financial advisors, and they're living check to check, buying Benzes, snorting cocaine, sleeping with fast women, they're all broke, pretty much. They've got expensive cars that they can't even afford to put gas in half the time. And it's like when you are a part of these almost fraternities, playing in the NBA, playing in the NFL, working on Wall Street, you're almost expected to live this particular kind of fast money, party hard lifestyle. And quite often there's no thought of tomorrow, no thought of how do you transition out of this life. You know, a lot of people, I know people who worked on Wall Street, made a ton of money. Now they're like school teachers, which is cool. You know, they're helping teach the next generation of brilliant minds. But I mean, if they made a ton of money on Wall Street, like if they touched a couple $1 million before they turn 50, because a lot of times they'll be teachers and stuff by the time they're in their 40s, 50s, even 60s sometimes. The ones that I've seen anyway, you know, not speaking for anybody, speaking for the very few that I've personally seen. Right? They're teachers by the time they're in their 50s, 40s, 50s, and they talk about, yeah, I touched 5-10 million by that time. You know, in money, like in lump sums. And so you just wonder, like, damn, did you open a corner store? Did you open a liquor store? Did you open a laundromat, an after school program? Did you start an AAU ball club? Like, damn. Like, you teaching now, which is cool. Again, it's a very noble profession. I've taught in a few different situations in a couple different contexts now. I love teaching. I really want to get back into that. Give back to the youth, give to the future, give to the next generation, and just grow and build. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, because if you touched all that bread in a lump sum, and you have the financial savvy and the connections to help you start some businesses that probably will be profitable, maybe not would make you rich, but that could turn you a good profit year to year, where you wouldn't have to turn around and work for other people. You could at least work for yourself, be a boss, be an investor, be an entrepreneur. So you wonder how many people don't even think about doing that. And when they say why only a few percent of people succeed across the board, red, yellow, blue, green, black, white, purple, brown, how many people just don't think about just being their own boss? How many people are just afraid of just taking that risk, taking that chance? But then we see how so many people who do consistently rise and fall being their own bosses, how they just live a different lifestyle. We saw I remember this episode of The Simpsons. I was talking about this with some people, and with the fam actually, I was talking about this, and this episode of The Simpsons where Monty Burns lost all his bread. Right? Did Monty Burns go get a job? Nah. Monty Burns said, alright, I'm gonna just get right back to being a boss, and said, what do people need? Like, okay, I can't do toxic waste anymore, I can't do the radiation anymore, I can't do nuclear power anymore. Cool, I'm going to completely 360 and turn into doing recycling. And I'll do recyclable fuels, and I'll do energy off of recycled products. I'll just start off making just a huge massive recycling company, and I'll have a huge massive recycling plant. So he started, and I know some people are gonna say this is crazy, this is wrong, but he started getting the elderly folks to volunteer collecting trash for him. Monty didn't start working himself at somebody else's job. He went right back to being a boss, because Monty Burns has a boss's mindset. And even if he would have had to sleep in his car, he has a boss's mindset. Monty Burns understands that you do not get rich off of your labor. You get wealthy off of being a boss and putting other people's labor to work for you, putting your energy and efforts intelligently into creating assets. Assets create wealth. Assets are everything you own that you have no debts on, or everything that you can acquire that can make you money and that you can leverage, that is less expensive and generates way more profit for you. That could also kind of be considered an asset. So leveraging other people's work for him, volunteering, getting very little money, just being able to just come out and collect cans. This dude made a huge recycling empire, and they flipped that into recyclable energies, with natural energies. Like, he's a boss. He doesn't stop being a boss because he has $0 in his pocket. He has the mindset: I am going to use other people's labor, other people's energy, other people's resources for me. I'm going to weave a new matrix. I'm going to redo this whole thing. Y'all don't understand. Money don't make me Monty Burns. I make me Montgomery Burns. My mindset. I am a rich person in my mind. I make me Montgomery Burns. Those dollars don't do it. And I think sometimes that gets lost. That mindset of always being ready, always being willing to bet on yourself, being willing to sacrifice for yourself, bringing it back full circle to the sacrifice conversation and being ready for these times. You know, Monty Burns is always ready for these times. Monty Burns is always ready for stuff to go left. Monty Burns is always ready for things to be a problem and for him to have to restart from zero and for him to have to get back to it a different way, because Monty Burns has the mindset that things can go left at any time, but that doesn't matter because I'm always Monty Burns. So I say to you, family, are you always yourself? Is that self that you always are somebody you're proud of? Somebody you know that if things go left, we'll get right back to it? Are you winning right now? Congratulations if you are. But if that all disappears tomorrow, what will you have to show for it? Will you be somebody that just lived off high off the hog, spent more than you needed to, and didn't put anything away from when things slowed down? Will you be somebody that knew things ebb and flow in life, know things go up and down, and reserved yourself, reserved your personal energy, reserved your space, reserved your resources, reserved your time, reserved your energy, reserved your sanity, reserved your peace, reserved your weapons, reserved your strength and energy for when you really needed to fight for the war, for when you kept yourself strong, kept yourself ready, but wasn't out here willy-nilly fighting unnecessary battles. What did you do? How did you prepare? How were you ready? How do you stay ready? Are you always ready? What is your mindset? What do you physically practice doing? How do you mentally stay sharp? What type of resources do you keep in the stash? Do you have a stash? Do you not believe in a stash? Do you believe a stash is not necessary? Do you believe you can recreate anything at any limited time? Do you think about these things at all? Do these things sound like they're not important and irrelevant to you? Does it not matter? That could be very well too. It could not matter. It could not matter at all, But I believe in that fairy tale about the ant. Ants is good, man. Ants make an anthill. Ants get the packing away for winter. Ants don't play that. Ants don't want to be caught slipping out here. Ants don't want to be left without lacking. So ants do what they gotta do to keep moving forward. We always have to do what we have to do to keep moving forward. Your target may change, plans can change, things can alter. But you always have to do what you have to do to keep moving forward. If you don't do that, if you haven't made provisions and arrangements for yourself, or at least for your fam, if you take care of other people to keep moving forward, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's your boy Phantm Phuego. This is his ghetto point of view, where I bring you the news, views, previews, and reviews, just a twist of my ghetto point of view. Sundays and Wednesdays we get to it, like it's nothing to it, and we look good while we do it. I love my fans so much. I have the best audience in the world. Thank you guys so much, my fans, my family, my audience. You guys are so amazing. You guys rock out with me. You send me questions all the time. Those who don't know, if it's your first time listening, welcome. Please make sure you hit the notifications. Please make sure you favorite the show. Please make sure you set your alarms and bells so you know when the show is coming on. His Ghetto Point of View is coming on Wednesdays and Sundays. Please continue to like the show and share it out. Please tell a friend and tell a friend. His Ghetto Point of View is on Wednesdays and Sundays. Share it across all of your digital platforms that you listen to His Ghetto Point of View on. We're available on Spotify, Anchor, Overcast, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Republic, everywhere dope podcasts are shared. His Ghetto Point of View is there. Phantm Phuego is there. And, I'm hoping to bring some levity and also some information and some enlightenment to your day. Hope I get your energy up and going. Hope I keep you positive and moving, because I'm all about the dope energy. Like, I hope I bring you good vibes, because you guys make me feel so good when you listen, when you give me your time. You could have been doing anything with your day. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to like, you decided to share, you decided to subscribe, you decided to keep sending in questions to hisghettopointofview@gmail.com. You decided to keep sending in links to dope articles. You decided to send me a friend request on Instagram and on Twitter and Snap. You decided to make me a part of your day, a part of your world, a part of your life. And you've made your friends aware that His Ghetto Point of View comes on Wednesdays and Sundays. And if you haven't yet, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you favorite it. Make sure you are notified on whatever platform you're on that His Ghetto Point of View comes on Wednesdays and Sundays. Make sure you get the notifications so you can be the first to listen in and let me know what you think at hisghettopointofview@gmail.com. hisghettopointofview@gmail.com. Thank you guys. You guys are rocking. I love you guys so much for that. I'm going to jump into some music. We're going to get right back to it. Yeah. Yeah, we back. So the Lakers are pretty much, moonwalking all over Anthony Davis. I'm sorry. The Lakers are destroying the Miami Heat. Anthony Davis is moonwalking all across these guys. And a lot of people saying, oh wow, we didn't realize Anthony Davis was this good. Like, I don't know what to say when people say stuff, oh wow, I didn't know. Yes, I understand he was playing in a smaller market, so if you really didn't watch smaller market teams like that, then I guess, you wouldn't know he is. Granted, no problem. Okay. But yes, Anthony Davis is arguably the best player in the NBA, and he's probably been that for a while. You're like, oh, what you mean? What about KD? KD is real. I don't think he's Anthony Davis though. Oh, KD has championships. Anthony Davis about to have a bunch of rings. What's gonna be the conversation when Anthony Davis has more rings than KD? What? You sound crazy. Anthony Davis is not gonna have more rings than Kevin Durant. We'll see. I think Anthony Davis is gonna get at least 4. I don't think KD is getting any more. I think the Lakers win the next 3. After the Lakers win that 3, I think LeBron retires. I think after LeBron retires, they bring in another 1 or 2 players to play with Kuzma and AD. They might get Bradley Beal to go to LA and pair with AD and Kuzma. Or they might get Klay Thompson, which is what's been rumored a long time that he might go home to LA. Or they might get one of the guys on the Clippers to go transition over to the Lakers once LeBron leaves. Paul George might still go play for the Lakers. They might get Russell Westbrook to play for the Lakers. That thing is about to fall apart. I know he wants to come back home. They might bring the Ball brothers to the Lakers. Have them playing around AD. That would be something to watch. Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball, LiAngelo Ball playing with AD in the middle. That'd be special. That'd be extremely high-level, entertaining basketball. That'd be fun to watch. They might bring Zion to the Lakers if he fully shows out, turns into the player that they expect him to be. I can't see him at some point not gracing a Lakers jersey. All the greats play for the Lakers at some point. Just what it is. It's just what it is. Big stages. People want to play on those big stages and cement their history, you know? Why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want to stomp your legacy like that if you could? I completely understand it. If you're the type of player that can take that type of heat, because there's definitely a lot to be said about playing in those type of environments. But if you can take that heat, where else is there really to play? Except in New York or LA or Chicago. Places like that. Where else is there really to play, you know? So, I don't want to sound too preemptive. And, I think Jimmy Butler's an amazing player, but I think it goes without saying that the Lakers probably wrap this thing up in 5 games. 6 maybe the max. But I really see this thing not really going any more than 5. I know that tip-off is for game 3 in a little bit, and they're talking about a couple key players on Miami. I'm not even sure if they're going to suit up tonight. That's very unfortunate. Hopefully they do. They can at least get one at home in front of their fans. That'd be nice for Miami fans to see a championship win. Just not have LeBron coming back home to Miami and just slaughtering those guys in an LA uniform. That's kind of crazy. But I'm sure it is bittersweet for him to play in Miami and get this ring there, because he did love Miami so very much. love Pat Riley so very much. You know, he wasn't a really big Eric Spoelstra fan, but he did grow to respect Eric Spoelstra. And Pat Riley wasn't having that. And Eric Spoelstra didn't back down. You know, Eric Spoelstra got in his face. He doesn't like that. LeBron like it when coaches, LeBron allegedly likes it when coaches just kind of acquiesce to him and just kind of let him do what he wants. But you never get the best out of LeBron like that. You got to be the type of coach that can go toe-to-toe with LeBron, yell at him, scream at him, get in his face. Even if, you know, you're shorter than him, still stand up to him and let him know that your pedigree on the sidelines is just as valid, if not more so, than his pedigree up and down that 94 feet. He's got to be challenged. Because if you challenge him, he'll challenge the rest of the team, and y'all will go extremely far on a consistent basis. But if not, like many of those meteoric superstar talents, if they're not really being challenged, it's hard to get them to produce at the level that you know they're capable of. We'll see how this goes, but I really see this being 4-1. I think LeBron has too much respect for Pat Riley to go in there playing around. I think Bam, Jimmy, Tyler should try to just muck it up and just try to play through whatever injuries tonight and try to get one at home. At least make the series a little exciting, you know. But congrats to them for being Eastern Conference champions either way. That was very unexpected in them this year. They really took advantage of the situation, as you're supposed to. Don't let anything stop you from, you know, pushing towards your dreams, pushing towards your greatness. I say all that to say, it's your boy Phantm Phuego. This is his ghetto point of view. When we give you the news, views, reviews, and previews. We're just a twist of my ghetto point of view. We're just a twist of his ghetto point of view. Jump into some music real quick. Be right back. Shit. Yeah, so very dope story out of The Guardian. Some of their reporters caught up with some very dope young ladies who are bloggers and reporters and vloggers and podcasters in the manga space and the Japanimation space and anime, however you like to call it, and did a really dope piece. I definitely recommend checking it out in The Guardian. And does anime have a race problem? And you know, they gave examples of several characters from prominent and some not so prominent anime shows, including Dragon Ball Z, Cowboy Bebop, One Punch Man, among others, where they showed some of the characters are really racist. You know, even Pokemon had a questionable character, and I'm just gonna read off some of the characters. You know, check them out on your own time. Google them when you have a sec, and or DuckDuckGo, whichever platforms you using. You know, and yeah, check them out. Bing them. You know, whatever you're doing, and check these characters out. Just Jinx, Jynx, was the name of the character from Pokemon, and a lot of people didn't like that character because they say it was very racistly based, and you know, they're saying Japan, you know, has had a long history of putting almost these minstrel-like characters in their animes when they're representing, you know, black characters. And the Jinx character, I have to say, it is a little questionable, and I looked her up. Jinx, she's a rare Pokemon that you can only get, if you're really trading heavy into the games, the video game versions of Pokemon. And the card is also rare to get. But anyway, it evolves from a character Smoochums, or evolves into Smoochums. I forgive me if I can't remember which order it was, but the another one in the order. For those that don't know, Pokemon characters evolve and grow into different levels of characters, and their names change as they grow and evolve. And another version in its evolution is called Smoochums. And so it seemed like a character that was very let's say risque and almost a little slutty, had on like the fake hair, the big lipstick, big red lips, minstrel lips, kind of like the bra and tight dress, and said to have the power of creating. It was like an ice psychic Pokemon, and it could create these voodoo dolls out of ice. So it was just a very, very interesting character, and just the fact that be able to create voodoo dolls and stuff, and it clearly looked like a black woman with just like really big oversized lips and like a really kind of Mr. Potato Heady body, but with like a dress on, and episodes with the character have been banned in the United States, although you can get it like on demand on some platforms, some of the episodes that character in, but the character is prevalent in mangas, which are the comic book form of these shows, and appears in all the versions of the cartoon in Japan. And so some people have argued, well, Japan is, it's a different world in Japan, but these, the Japanese authors and game developers and manga designers and art developers, storyboard writers, they know they have a huge American audience. They know they have a huge international audience. People from France, people from Canada, people from several South American countries that are all in love with people from the Caribbean islands, etc. And they know we really love manga. I personally love manga. I like Bleach. I like, I've watched Death Note. I've watched Bleach. I've watched Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Kai. I've really One Punch Man. I really, really like anime. Ghost in the Shell, Appleseed. Like, I've watched all types of animes. I really, really like anime. Of course, I've watched, the more Americanized, influenced animes. Like, I've definitely watched Afro Samurai 1 and 2. I've watched, of course, Pokemon. I've, of course, watched Yu-Gi-Oh! So, I've watched a lot. Of course, some episodes of Naruto. I've definitely watched some Hunter x Hunter. Like, I'm a big anime fan, and I can't say that I've never noticed how black characters are portrayed in anime. I've never really tried to stress it. Like, I feel like the bloggers and these young black ladies were saying, like, a lot of times we have to kind of almost put a blind eye when these characters come on screen. But when you see characters like in One Punch Man, there's a character that they highlighted in the Guardian article, and it's very true. This character almost looked like he was being sold during this episode of One Punch, as he was flexing this big black buck was flexing his muscles in front of all of these black, all these white guys that were in like business suits and stuff. It looked very reminiscent to a scene off of Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was really crazy. And the name of the character is Black Luster, and it's one of his nicknames in the show is Super Aloe Darkshine. I don't, that seems very, very interesting. And so there's a character, Mr. Popo in Dragon Ball, who's clearly supposed to be like a Moorish type of character. And he just, he comes off very, very dense and silly, and He's drawn like he has Moorish, dark skin, fez and stuff, but he's almost drawn in a minstrel way, plus having a fez and turban, or turban on, however you want to call it. In Cowboy Bebop, there is a character that is named Coffee, which is very reminiscent to the character Foxy Brown, blaxploitation films actress from early movie times. There's a Sister Crone from Neverland, from the Promised Neverland series, and Black Russian from the Durarara series. There's a lot of different characters that they went over. Please check out The Guardian report on it. It's done very, very well. It's really dope. They can definitely go much more into detail, but when you look at those characters again, Mr. Popo in Dragon Ball, Coffee from Cowboy Bebop, Black Luster in One Punch Man, Sister Crone in Promised Neverland, Black Russian in Durarara, Jinx from Pokemon. This list is starting to add up, and these aren't the only characters that this is happening in animes and it's really not cool with the amount of black people that also do things like cosplay. And then that was another part of the report. They got into the fact that many black people love to do cosplay, and those who are not familiar, cosplay or costume play is just dressing up as your favorite manga anime characters. A lot of people like to dress up like Bleach, like different characters from Street Fighter, like different characters from Tekken, like different characters from Ghost in the Shell or Naruto, a wide variety of anime mangas or anime magazines. Mangas is short for anime magazines or anime, because they don't really consider them comics as much as they consider them novels, graphic novels and dark novels and animated novels and animated series almost, especially with a lot of the heavy content and the depth of emotion that the characters show and the wide variety of narratives and problems and dilemmas that the characters have and go through in the different issues that they address. So that they don't really like to call them comics as much as mangas and novels and graphic novels. But for those who are unaware and not really into the comic world, a lot more people have been jumping on to the anime scene. But there have been so many people that have been in the anime scene for so long, but it wasn't really seen as the cool thing. It was more like an underground thing out here, and they even got into that part. Like I remember going to see my local Africans over on coming home from work and stuff, like right there on DeKalb, right there downtown Brooklyn. There was this dude, he would have like a little video spot. This is when like the VHSs were still popping, and like for $20 you could get like your different kung fu films or like the different animes. And I used to spend regularly, be buying $10, $20, $30, $40, bringing home movies, enjoying them, just really being into different cultures. And so I've enjoyed them for so long, and now I try to enjoy them with the fam too, and it's dope. And I love sharing things that I enjoyed from my past, but at the same time I do see that these characters are a problem, and I do want us to have more representation. So I also try to watch a lot of the black animators, like shouts to Black Sands Entertainment. They have an amazing channel. They're also working on an app, with some games and some other mangas, plus merch with all their characters. And they have a lot of manga-like story that they do around more black history. Like they have the series which has like Haru set, a lot of different black gods when they were kids, and it's really, really dope. I highly recommend it. Check out Black Sands Entertainment on YouTube, Black Sands Entertainment on YouTube. And they were just talking about all these different dope black animator companies that are coming up and trying to, rebalance the scales, in a very, very, dominated market that's dominated by Japanese-led production companies, Japanese-led design houses, Japanese-led production teams. And, so that'll be interesting because, if we could get a few dope, prominent, black-led animation and design houses at the top, hopefully, that will force the other houses to have to respect the dollar of the black buyer and the black consumer, because, hopefully we'll just start supporting the black house production houses more and the stories they create, and that will force the classic houses to have to be more respectful in their representation, or maybe they just lose that huge market share of business, because to pretend like a lot of the people that go to Comic-Con and do cosplay are not black, African American, Caribbean, Canadian, people from people of African descent from all over the world, that's just a huge joke. So lose the money if you want to. I'm sure City GSP won't mind doing a study on how much money they could lose from that. That $16 trillion really, that bothers me so. That really bothers me so, guys. You have no idea. Because that just, for those that don't recall, City GSP just did a study showing that, over 16 trillion was lost in the past 20 years due to, just not letting, from just blatant racism and not letting black people not earning the same wages while doing comparable work and having comparable degrees to their white counterparts, while not being able to get the same level of bank loans, or not being access to bank capital at all, not being given the same access to home ownership or owning homes in lower quality areas. All those things added up over the past 20 years. Not the same access to education, not the same, and just lifetime decreased earnings in the hundreds of billions of dollars collectively for black people who do the same work or more work than their white counterparts, working at the same companies, etc., doing the same type of work. $16 trillion plus in losses for these racist practices. I mean, you can't really, like, that's disgusting, That's really disgusting when you're losing $16 trillion because you just don't want to do business fairly with people. So you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You are shooting yourself in the foot just so you don't have to do business fairly with people. So definitely a dope article to check out. Shouts to The Guardian for putting together that great article. Does anime have a race problem? Does anime have a race problem? I would say yes, and I would say they need to fix that. Shouts to them. Shouts to Brooklyn Wildlife. They're throwing an amazing event tonight. Shouts to Artery, ARTERY. A lot of the people from Black Art Pantheon are performing. It's going to be a dope vibe. They got some amazing jazz bands rocking with them. Beautiful, beautiful event going on right now. Started at about 4 p.m. this evening, and it's rocking all evening. As you guys know, I did their Free World Festival in conjunction with Artery a couple weeks back, and that was dope. And then I followed that up with doing this festival this week, and that was amazing. So yeah, shouts to everybody at Balls NYC. That was really dope, man. That was really dope. It's your host, boy Phantm Phuego, bringing you the news, views, previews, and reviews with just my ghetto point of view, just his ghetto point of view. This is His Ghetto Point of View. Shouts to the team over at Anchor.fm, Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Tidal Podcasts, Radio Republic, Overcast, everywhere dope podcasts are heard. And I hope that I continue to enlighten, inspire, and you tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. His Ghetto Point of View, Wednesdays and Sundays. You can catch us. We getting to it. We on our job. So I was listening to the Buddy and Kent Jams Jank Tape Volume 1, and I also caught that NPR performance. Shout out to NPR. Always putting together the dope shows. But Buddy and Kent Jams, man, this Jank Tape, these guys really got special energy when they're together on a project. Buddy also released that individual single Black 2, which is so dope, and I'm looking forward to hearing that whole project. But Jank Tape Volume 1, amazing record. She Think for the Ladies, In Search of, Inconsistent. I mean, the whole project is just amazing, and you get to hear both of them showcase the things that they do individually that are beautiful, and then they put it together so dope and so well, and they feed off each other and vibe off each other in a really, really special way. Highly recommend checking out the project. That is Jank Tape Volume 1. I give it 10 out of 10 matches. It's an absolute flamethrower. Production is great. Mixing is great. Verses is great. Beat selection is great. The flow of the album is great. Start to finish, amazing. I love the skits. I love the comedy. I love the humor. I love the energy between them two. I love the videos that I've seen. I love the live performances. I love everything they've been putting together around this project. 10 out of 10 matches. It's an absolute flamethrower. Check it out. The Jank Tape by Buddy and Kent Jams, Volume 1. Can't wait for Volume 2, but I'm going to let this Volume 1 marinate in my speakers for a while. You know what I mean? Definitely check it out. She thinks she love me. Hey. She thinks she love me. Hey. She thinks she love me. Woo. Yeah, it's dope project. It's a dope project. Also, I checked out this film, Vampires in Brooklyn. It's a dope film, you know what I mean? It's got a nice little cast in it. I believe Zoe Saldana makes a cameo. She's one of the lead assistant aiding characters to this team of amazing kids who are actually fighting off gentrification and these vampires who are literally sucking the blood out of the Bronx community, literally and figuratively, by buying up a bunch of the property of people. And when they finally get the people to sell their properties, their businesses and stuff in this Bronx neighborhood, they end up just having vampires just off the people. The people don't get the money. So it was dope, because it kind of was a play on the fact that that's kind of really what's been going on in the Bronx. You got a lot of developers coming in and sucking the blood out of the community, sucking the life force, the essence, taking the mom and pop shops out, and just bringing in these larger conglomerates, which are not for the people as much, So you're seeing that changeover and that evolution happen, and that's always unfortunate to see sometimes, but it speaks to the fact that neighborhoods gotta kind of pull together their resources and be able to hold on to your blocks, because that's special. That's history. That's culture. And if we don't have that, unfortunately, we don't have much. So I definitely recommend that. Vampires in Brooklyn, Vampires in Bronx, Vampires versus the Bronx. Excuse me. It's a dope movie. Vampires versus the Bronx. Netflix exclusive. It's really dope. Highly recommend that. It's a great film. And that Buddy and Kent Jams Jank Tape Volume 1. Definitely check those out when you guys have some time. Also, Kanye and his manager are reported to, according to Rolling Stone, going to officially submit his official request to the labels, saying that they've been honestly in back and forth arguments with the labels for about a year and a half now. And also Logic, Trippie Redd, and NLE Choppa have all added their support to the list of artists, including Hit Boy, Big Sean, and Designer, who have all been supporting Kanye West in his push to get back his masters. And he also has committed to giving all of the artists from Good Music the 50% ownership that he has in their masters. So it's been really dope. And NLE Choppa said that he even will plan to go indie after his, I think he's got 1 or 2 more albums on his commitment, and he said he plans to go indie. Logic said that people over at Def Jam do not want to pay for features, and it's very hard for artists to make moves and do good business there, and so he really supports Kanye's movement, Kanye's initiatives, that artists need to get more. And Trippie Redd said that he would even be trying to reach out to Kanye to kind of help push forward the fight for artists to get their masters. And a guy like Trippie getting involved, would be dope. He's a really big artist. He's a younger artist, has a very eclectic but hardcore fan base as well, and a huge artist as well. And he's managed by a really big Lucian Grange. His son manages him. He's part of that same management team that Tekashi 6ix9ine is on. So that'll be very interesting to see such a large artist start to pull away from the bigs and want to kind of do their own thing. Is it just puff and smoke? Is it real? Is it genuine? We shall see, I guess, in the next few months, and see how this plays out over a year or so's time, and who really is going indie and willing to invest in themselves and not take these big upfront, deals, and is willing to, grind out, sacrifice. There's that sacrifice thing again. And play the long term, invest in themselves, put things away as things flow more. Understand that there will be times where their businesses will need them to float them more so, and make sure they have the money, resources, capital, and energy, and the team around that will last through those rough times. And the only way to do that really, to me, is to make sure you're putting away in the good times. So, shouts to Logic, shouts to NLE Chopper, and shouts to Logic, NLE Chopper. And my mind just drew an absolute blank right now. That's crazy. Logic, NLE Chopper, Big Sean, Designer, everybody who's been coming out, Hit Boy, everybody who's been coming out in support of Kanye and him wanting to get people their masters back, and to have the labels be more in an actual administrative role, making less, letting the artists just license their material to them for periods of time. Things that, honestly just make sense at this point in time, with the way the technology is, with the way artists can have direct links to mastering houses, mix engineers, to PR, to marketing teams, with the relationships that artists can have directly with mobile companies and gaming companies, with the way artists can have direct relationships with clothing companies and soda companies and food companies. Labels really have to figure out, what they're going to do. Artists can have direct relationships with DSP providers. DSP providers can sign artists directly and just say, screw the label. What labels have to figure out, do they want to still be in business, and what that's going to look like over the next 10, 15 years, because the model that they previously had will not continue to work at all. So, let's see what happens. I'm very interested, of course, as an artist myself, and as a person who helps manage and promote other artists, and help people, move their careers forward. I would love to see myself how this is going to play out, because, this is very important information for me on multiple levels. So this will be dope. This should be dope. And I wish them nothing but success in this endeavor, because that will have a trickle-down effect and help artists all across the field and multiple areas. Of course, Kanye said he's even trying to help Taylor Swift get her stuff back. So, that's dope. Let's see how this works. It's your boy, Phantm Phuego, bringing you the news, views, previews, and reviews with just a twist of his ghetto point of view. I'm going to jump into some music real quick. We'll be right back. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, guys, we back, and I have the absolute greatest audience once again, guys. I thank you guys so much. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, add it to your subscriptions, favorite it, get your turn the notifications on, turn your reminders on, however it works on whichever particular platform you're listening to his Ghetto Point of View on. Make sure you turn that on, hit that favorite, like the show, favorite the show, subscribe to the show, add it to the ones you want to be notified about. Make sure you share that out on whatever particular platform you listen on, whether it's Spotify, Overcast, Radio Republic, Apple Podcasts, iTunes Podcasts. Well, that's the same. I'm sorry. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whichever ones you listening to us on. We thank you so much. Make sure you letting everybody know. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. His Ghetto Point of View. New episodes Wednesdays and Sundays. New episodes Wednesdays and Sundays. New episodes Wednesdays and Sundays. So, of course, I couldn't get out of here without touching on the fact that, our president, President Trump, and his wife Melania, and a few members of their staff have unfortunately tested positive for COVID-19. And I say unfortunately because that's our president. And, despite what some people feel about him on a personal level, what some people feel about his politics on a political level, that's a man, that's a family man, that's a father at the end of the day. And, we don't get anywhere wishing ill will on people we may wish ill will on us. And I don't know if Donald Trump personally wishes ill will on me. So I'm not going to sit here and assume he does. Do I think all of his policies work for me? No. I didn't think any president's policies have worked for me personally or my community as a whole yet. So, I have my own reservations with every president. But as far as your health, your well-being is concerned, I wish that man a speedy recovery. I wish that man nothing but good health, because at the end of the day, we don't need a country which is already in turmoil having a leader who is sick and can't help us right the ship and get through. Regardless of whatever we feel about politics, these are not the times where we need to have a nation which is already going through so much now, so not having someone at the helm to drive the ship. So I say all that to say, I wish you well, wish you a speedy recovery, wish Melania well, wish Melania a speedy recovery. Hope anybody else who on staff in the White House that has possibly gotten sick with whatever ailments can be fully, healed, fully recovered, and you guys will be fine. You guys will be great. I'm sure you guys got the best medical staff around. So hopefully everything goes smooth. I know some people have taken this as an opportunity to, say all sorts of things. It's always interesting how people want sympathy and want things to be nice and polite, but then when it's time for them to show the same sympathy that they ask for, they never do. So, it's very interesting, I say if you want sympathy, you should show sympathy. So I wish that man nothing but good health and, prosperity right now, because that's what we need as a country. We want to live in abundance. We want to live in joy. We want to live in peace. We want to live in unity. We want to live in sanctity. We want to live in harmony. We want to live in gratitude. We want to have things to be grateful for as a community, as individuals, as families, as neighborhoods, as cities, as states, as regions, as territories, as a nation, as a world. We just want to live in a season of continuous, constant, infinite gratitude and just be constantly, continuously, infinitely blessed. And we are there. We will be constantly, continuous, and infinitely blessed. I am constantly, continuously, and infinitely blessed. I am constantly, continuously, and infinitely blessed. I am constantly, continuously, and infinitely blessed in every way, shape, form in my life. I am constantly, continuously, and infinitely blessed. I am blessed beyond measure. I am constantly, continuously living in abundance. I am constantly, continuously living in abundance. My mental health, spiritual health, physical health are all in tip-top shape. I am doing well beyond measure. I am powerful beyond measure. I am talented beyond measure. I am creative beyond measure. I constantly create new, amazing things that people love. I am constantly into good business deals. I am constantly producing new, amazing things that people love and people desire and people want to pay for. And you, my friends, are doing the same things with your amazing lives. And we are all getting to this bag and living in abundance and living in good health and living with great times and living with loving families and living in joyous moments and capturing these joyous moments and joyous times and remembering that nothing bad lasts forever and every storm soon passes and bright skies is always ahead. I love you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. It's your boy Phantm Phuego. This is his ghetto point of view, where we bring the news, views, previews, and reviews, just a twist of his ghetto point of view. I see you guys on Wednesday. You guys rock. Yeah.